Yeah. Just had to hook my camera up.
Oh, okay. Y'all be careful.
Thank you very much. Just going up to town to get a pizza. I woke up this morning and I had a craving for some Pizza Hut pizza. Of course, I had not had breakfast yet, so I thought maybe after breakfast the craving for Pizza Hut would be over. But oh no, the craving just got stronger. So Angelique and I believe you can see her. I think she's back there. Angelique and I decided to go get ourselves pizza. Now where I live is a long ways from everything. If I went south, it's 22 miles to Gardendale, and they do have a Pizza Hut there. If I go 22 miles north on I-65, they do have a Pizza Hut in Coleman. If I go 22 miles west to Jasper, they have a Pizza Hut there. So when you wake up for a craving for a pizza, you might as well just give in to it and go get you a pizza. Now let me tell you, the other day I made a little video where I went riding in the Bankhead Forest. I've been going up there for 30 years. I love that place. I made it for my friend Dave and the multitude of other Australian riders that is on my YouTube channel. But I made it particular for Dave because he likes the tall trees. I lived for 40 years in the Seattle area, and of course there they had the big trees, they had the tall fir trees. I had trees on my property in Lake Tapps, Washington that was 175 feet tall fir tree. Now, the recycle hooligan, he rides over in Fort Payne now. He's over in much more hillier. So you can see we don't have much hills here, little rolling hills. But I was going to make a comparison to living 40 years in Seattle. There, they call Seattle the Evergreen State. If you leave Seattle on I-90 and go about 75 miles east on I-90, you're in the desert. And Washington is broken up in three segments. You have western Washington, which is high timber country, and you have central Washington, which is an arid desert with dunes and all that stuff. That same desert runs all the way to California. You can go all the way through Oregon, down through central Oregon into northern California. Now and then, when you get over in the far eastern side of Washington, you come up on the gateway into the Rockies. So you got a lot of Rocky Mountain riding. That's where everybody up there gets the Rocky Mountain High, the John Denver Rocky Mountain High. I bet you Dave knows how to play. Him and Motorbomb Virginia, they probably can play Rocky Mountain High. Anyhow, they call that the Evergreen State, Washington. But Alabama, by far, is the greenest state. The only time you begin to lose green coverage is when you go below Montgomery. And then you have what they call the Wiregrass area. Montgomery is our capital, which is to the south. And the Wiregrass country is beautiful. It goes right down into the beach. We don't have a rocky beach. We have a beautiful many hundreds of miles of white sand. That beautiful Gulf is sitting out there right now being churned up by a little hurricane called, what, Barry? No, Burl? I don't know. It started with a B. Anyhow, the people over in Houston and that area possibly could get flooded in the next couple of days. My son works for that company. Anyhow, yeah, I did that little ride for Dave over there because I know a lot of guys living here in Alabama ride bikes. They like to go up and ride in the forest. And on the way back, we rolled in to an Amish bakery. We've been going up there for years over in Danbury. Is it Danbury? I believe it is, Alabama. And oh my gosh, Angelique loaded us up with good Amish bakery goods. You know, things that's good for your soul. The sweetness of the gods. Look at the bikers coming up here. There's a couple more bikers. Bikers over there. Oh yeah, they're riding on down. Now we're not going very fast. You can see the speed is pretty slow. This is your holiday travelers, and we don't want to get caught up in a statistic. So we are just kind of taking it easy. That's a term I don't usually do. I mean, life is too short to be going slow. And well, here in Alabama, if you go slow, you're going to get passed. Because they're not really big into going slow. like they're coming to a standstill. Anyhow, as you can see, it's partly cloudy. A little blue sky up there. I think it was 91 or 92 when I left degrees Fahrenheit. And there's no predictable rain until later this afternoon. There are going to be some thunderstorms. Now we begin to, as you can see, we begin to get the outer band, the rings from the hurricane down there in the Gulf. The outer band rings, they reach out several hundred miles. Just passed a sign said Jesse Owens Park. I've been there. I've taken most of my family members up there. At one time when Hitler was, dominating all of Europe. In fact, he had Russia to its knees. We had a great runner here in America. He went over there and he ran and beat the best German there was in the Olympics. And I don't know if it's rumored or whatever, but they said Hitler had all the Olympic track stars and those that competed against him executed. But that might have been just a Facebook story. I don't know. I wasn't there. Even though I was already born somewhere during that period of time. I wasn't born when Jesse Owens won his Olympic medal, but I was soon to be born. Well, he's buried right up here in Alabama. And I want to tell you another thing. My good friend Ray Gregory over in Georgia, he told me about his grandmother being Cherokee Indian, and God bless him. I love that man. My grandmother was Cherokee. I married a Cherokee woman, had 2 Cherokee children. My mother was Cherokee. And up here, in the same place where Jesse Owens is buried, you have the chief of all the Cherokee nations buried up there. His name was Sequoia. He's got a huge cemetery up there near Moulton, Alabama. And Chief Sequoia was the chief that gave the Cherokees the ability to have their own written language. He took him many years to develop it. You got to keep in mind, at the time when he was trying to develop the language, there was a lot of hostilities towards Indians. And anybody getting caught doing something like that would have been executed, killed, hanged, or whatever. But he pursued his dream of giving the language to the Cherokee Indians. And I'm so proud the state of Alabama has they buried him up here. And we're proud of the American Indians. I've got a lot of friends. I was stationed out in the Indian territories. I was stationed really close to where Custer made his last stand. I'm going to tell this joke for Dave. They commissioned a great painter to draw a picture depicting the last moments of General Custer at Little Bighorn. So they had a bunch of dignitaries to gather up, and they unveiled the portrait, the painting. And on that painting, there was a whole bunch of Indians out there in the field, and they was making love in every position known to man. I mean, they were doing it doggy style, hostile, missionary, and also they was standing over on the side there was a cow with a halo above its head. So the President of the United States wanted to know what was his interpretation of Custer's last stand. And he said, well, it's pretty easy. When one of the sergeants standing next to Custer, and they looked across the valley, the first thing he said, holy cow, look at them effing Indians. and the story didn't end there. Them Indians kept coming and coming and coming all night long. Yeah, you can tell that up at the church. It's not bad. I learned that one at the church. Anyhow, what is life if you can't have a little fun? Especially at my age, I've got to be serious about my having fun right now. This is my time to shine. So here we are, up in the big town of Cullman. And a beautiful hot day. Look at right here. Ambient air temperature 100 degrees, 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Like I said the other day, she be smoking. Let me see if I can see Angelique back here. I can't see Angelique back here. Where you at, Angelique? There she is. Sometimes she goes to sleep back there. There's the guy that started it all right there. Colonel John C. Coleman. I don't know if that's a C or a G. You know what is strange? Another little strange fact. Colonel Coleman, he brought with him, when he settled this area, grapes from Europe. And he grew some of the greatest crops of all and produced some of the best wine. And then the churches took over and made wine a sin. And they almost run him out of town on a rail. He learned the power of politics. Yeah. There's a lot of countries that wine is a part of their religious beliefs. I read the Bible myself 2 times from one side to the other, and one of the things they talked about is had to make sure I get through the light here. In the Bible, they discussed taking a little wine for the stomach's sake. And I'll never forget that one passage. I was amazed by this. I watched Jesus heal the lepers. I watched Jesus, do a lot to help the people afflicted. But at a wedding, he turned water into wine. And I had a guy tell me, he said, "Why, you damn fool? There was no alcohol in that wine." Oh, the pure definition of wine is the fermenting of grapes. No, they wasn't drinking wine juice that day. I hate to disappoint a lot of people. Each to their own. Everybody has to bear a cross. That just happened to be one I don't carry. You know, I don't. What you do is your business, not mine. Ooh, we're getting close to Pizza Hut. Well, hope I didn't talk you to death, but let me see, where did I turn in? I turned in right here, I believe. Yeah, look at me. I know what I'm doing now. Because I see the sign. Sometimes I start talking and I forget to put it in gear. I forget to put it down in low gear. I try to take off in fourth gear. And as you boys know, that don't work. Well, thank you very much for riding along with me. I will park right over here next to the handicap parking. Whoa, look at there. Somebody's got some bright lights. Well, have a great rest of the weekend.